Okay, so before I start this holy mess, I'm not a professional. I don't do this for a living. I don't know, this is my third or fourth video. I can't even keep track. I do have good file keeping skills though. My desktop is fairly clean. But in terms of actually making videos, I'm budget. A find is a find. Now, I'll probably punch this video in about here. Shit. Oh no. Yes. Okay, that was an omen. Time to go. Not before I see if I can get... Oh shit. And as you can see, it is worse for the wear, but that's okay. We're going to upgrade it a little bit. We probably don't need a couple of things, and I'll let you know right now. These are something that probably electricians, those fancy folks that use the Pixies, my homage to you. They should work in a pinch. Pinch, get it? I don't need, oh god, the lip grippers. Put that over there, having already a malfunction. Let's see if we can get that stuck again. I can see it's starting to slip. Okay, more than likely we won't need these. That's a lure that I tried to use today. Let's get right into it. Okay, so first things first. In the video you saw me shake my finger. Guys, stop using line that isn't the right size for the job. If you're out in a pond that you're fishing pike for, don't use super thin mono. And if you're around brush, where I was, don't use super thin mono. I had braid backed up by 40-pound fluorocarbon. Yes, 40-pound fluorocarbon. It's nice and stiff. For jerk baits, it helps push the bait back. You get a nice little 180, so the bait starts looking at the fish, and nothing pisses a pike more than a fish looking right at it dead in the eye. So anyways, use the right gear, and then you won't leave tons and tons of line. I don't even know if you can see this, like line in the tree, in the river, like come on. So we're gonna get rid of that. It is at my house. I rent, just so you know. And the second thing I was shaking my finger at, barrel swivels. Ooh, the scourge. Now you'll notice that I do use snaps. I will. If you're out on a body of water that you don't know, a snap is a great thing. Doesn't roll. It is easy to quick change. Make sure you get a pound test that is for the fish that you're fishing. So if you're fishing smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, I don't recommend it. But if you're gonna, 8 to 10 pound minimum. Set the drag properly. If you're fishing pike, muskie, even walleye, I mean especially Picton walleye, I know that's not southwestern Ontario, Picton walleye, you definitely want some of that heavier 12 to 20 pounds, you know, test rating on these snaps. Now the barrel swivels, I don't, I'm sure they have a use, and I'm sure somebody's gonna curse me out and get real pissy, but anyways, not a big fan. If you're gonna use swivels, use a ball bearing swivel, like this one. So somebody spent some money on this, obviously, because look at the hooks. Let me get that in frame for you guys. The hooks are rusted, and yes, my nails and stuff are crusty. It gets dry and I pick. For all the pickers out there, love ya. I'm a picker too. It's just something about it. You get that little piece of skin underneath there, and okay, that's gross. All right, so yeah, look at how rusty those hooks are. That swivel would have been on that tree for the same amount of time. So this is a stainless steel ball bearing swivel, probably, you know, a pack of 3 for about $4.99, I'm guessing, at any most tackle shops. Anyways, so we're gonna get rid of that. Let's get rid of that right now. All right, that's gone. Yeah, we'll leave that one for now. It doesn't look great. It's kind of crusty. Let's focus on these. Okay, so these hooks, no good. Not sharp, not sticky. See that? I know. For those of you who are squeamish, don't worry about it. We're going to get right into here and bite into the meat of the project, which is these silly snap rings. Now, if I do this correctly, you should be able to snee it. All right, here we go. It's focused. Yes, I said snee it. I'm not kidding about a little bit of vodka here. I probably shouldn't show that. I mean water. I'm thinking of you. And we're going to get to this other one here. Here we go. We're going to take that. Let's see. Hopefully you can see this one. And we're just going to swing that around. A split ring is just that. It's a ring. And it's split. It is a way to affix a hook, which is closed, to another loop or another hook, or however you want to call that, that is also closed. You throw the split ring in, and I don't know if we're going to be able to see this very well on here, but anyways, that is a split ring, and it has a split in it, and it's circled back around once on itself so that you can lock it in, and nothing, you know, nothing comes off. Why don't I like them in the front? Well, if you notice right here, and hopefully this comes into focus for everyone, probably won't. Let's try and do it without the lure attached. So hopefully you can see that. Okay. Anyways, if you look at a split ring, look it up, Google it, and it doesn't matter. There's a little end right here that starts. Okay, it comes around, and then it comes around again, and there's the end of it right there. Okay, so you put your line on this split ring, and what ends up happening? Well, if you get it right on that single line, or single wire, if you will, you can back it off. You can actually toss your lure across the river or lake, never to see it again, to bring back a perfect knot with a little loop at the end of your line. And so I just don't like them. And wherever I can, some electricians are gonna freak, but anyways, I like to snap them. Well, this is just not working very well. That's obviously a stainless steel split ring. Okay, so I like to get rid of them because they're useless to me, because I can tie knots and I can tie them quickly. We'll get to that and why you should go to the dollar store right now and get cheap fishing line. Sit in front of your favorite Netflix, Amazon, binge watch, whatever, but tie knots. Learn them. I'm not going to show you a bunch. It's boring. Go online, look up knots, you'll find a whole bunch. I'm going to say things like uni, Albright, trilene, cinch, I don't know, what's the one that they all use down south? Aberdeen? No. Anyways, whatever that other knot is, use it. Right there. I mean, you can tie on. If your bait doesn't run true with a knot that you can have just slightly backed off that cinches down on a bite, then, you know, I guess use the split rings, but just be cautious. Make sure to take the time and to get focus and to get on that double ring and tie it as tight as you can so it doesn't back off. I'm going to go to my box of wonderment and look for number 6 hooks. Let's see. 4s are too big, I think. Let's see. 6. All right. That says 6. Let's see if we have the right size. We don't, but it's damn close. I do want to point out though too, look at that. That's a Mustad Elite Treble. 1 time strong. No crap. Call me when it's 2 times. But anyways, $2.89. That's budget. I'm telling you right now, that is budget. So I got a quantity of 5 treble hooks to replace on my free lures for $3. So that, you know, let's break that down. It's $3. So 2 lures at 4 hooks, or you know what? Let's say we find a jerkbait with 3 hooks. So that's 1 jerkbait for $1.50 and 1 you know, cotton cordell, Big O, whatever this is. I don't know what I called it earlier. It doesn't matter. Or old Bill Lewis rattle trap, whatever the case may be. You know, $1.50 a piece to refresh some lures, or maybe you have some lures and you know they're crappy. Swap meets, tackle shops on clearance. Definitely go there in the winter time. Bigger lures don't seem to do as much there, or bigger, I should say, terminal tackle. But anyways, $2.89. All right. I don't think I have any 8s, which just means, look at, okay, come on. Mustad, $1.50, size 10, 5. I'm not even going to do the math and why that's just an awesome deal. But anyways, okay. Can't do it, don't have it. Yeah, no, all right. So that's as close as we're gonna get. You know what? It's pretty close. One time strong, one time's more better, I guess. That'll work. Yeah, it'll work. Okay, split rings. Goodness gracious. All right, well, we've gone ahead and mixed up my split rings here. I had some nice stainless steel Mustad split rings. That's a little guy there. You can see that there's a considerable difference, but if you are going to use a little bit longer shank, don't be afraid to use a little bit longer, a little bit smaller split ring. It's ideal. Another thing you can do too is if you want to stop, you ever have the thing where this gets hooked into this and your next cast was going to be the perfect one, or you saw a fish and then that whole thing is happening and they're all caught up and you gotta, okay, if you shorten up something, so whether it be the shank or the size of the split ring or what have you, you can't shorten up the bait. It is what it is. It's fixed. That's what we call a constant in math. Yeah, you're going to shorten up the shank. You're going to shorten up the split ring. Whatever it takes, do what it takes. And trust me, folks, when I say just because the factory said that that's how you should use it, don't trust them. Why is it they always seem to not work as well as you want them to work? And then you go back and you buy a different one or more stuff. Anyways, okay, I digress. Let's do this. All right, we're gonna do the hook first. Yeah, that's what I said. We're gonna do the hook first. So let's see if we can get this bad boy on. So it's a little tedious, a little tricky. There are what they call split ring pliers. Now they're a plier if you look at them online. I'm probably shaking the camera when I do this. Oh, look at that. Just disrespectful. Are you dizzy? Okay, son of a, okay, so there, we're sitting on there. There's a little bit of tension, that'll keep that split ring on, and if you just ever so slightly twist that in. Okay, why'd I do that? Well, for starters, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if we can, I suck at this. It's semi-open in the split ring department, right there. Semi-open. So now what we can do is we can grab this side of the ring, which is the closed side of the ring, and we can grab this side of the lure, and we can shove that little son of a, shut the front door, right half sideways. You try it with the camera on your hands. Okay, so yeah, fail one, and fail two. Let's try for 3 times the charm and see if we can get it. All right, so we got it in there. Now, if we twist them together, they're going to go on together. So that was the, yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so look at that. Now, does look a little wonky, doesn't it? Well, you know what? We'll give it a shot. Okay, so sometimes, you know what? I'm going to show you something, folks. You just stay right there. I'm going to go and get me one of these jobbers here. Okay, once in a blue moon, if things aren't going so well and hot on your day, let's say you're getting some short strikes. You may have seen a rapple or two with that jobber there. Yeah, that's an EWG. See that? That's an extra wide gap hook. One on a treble. And they will oftentimes throw that on the back of a lure that is a reactionary lure. And you want that little extra added protection. It's kind of like putting a trailer hook on your spinning bait. If you haven't seen that before, basically it's just a single hook with a little bit of an open eyelet. You throw it on your spinning bait. If you haven't seen one of those, I'll show you sometime soon. essentially what you do is you're going to add that in on to the hook that's already there. And that little extra oomph behind the skirt, for those who know what a spin bait is, if they're striking just a little bit short, if they're a little bit lethargic or slow, that'll help sink the hook. Now this is a little bit of an exaggeration. Where are we here? Right there. That's a little bit of an exaggeration. Looks like something you would use on a Texas rig or creature bait, something like that. So without using that, we can use just something a little bit longer and a little bit wider, and for something like this might add just a little bit of weight for casting distance. So that's a nice little added feature. Anyways, what are we working up on here? I don't know how many minutes we've been doing. That doesn't matter. Okay, so we're gonna move on. That's what we're gonna do. Here it is. Split ring the second. Let's see if we can get this bad boy open. Okay. And split ring the, oh yeah, look at that, I got just one out. One more hook, which we've done successfully. There it is there. I'm gonna pop this bad boy open. And we are gonna throw down with a little bit of, look at that. Try the first, and then one more time. Okay, do we call that try the second? Is that the second try? Let's just get this on. And we're gonna swing that bad boy around. And one more time for good measure. There we are. Okay. Okay, cotton cordell, big O, I believe. Yeah, I said bomber. That's what I said earlier. I don't think it's a bomber. But anyways, new hooks, looking pretty. Where you tie off, new split ring. Ha, no split ring. There you go. Free lure.